YouTube? This is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got you another mock draft video to help you out with your upcoming drafts. This is going to be, again, a 12-man league with a PPR edition. We are now in the 4th position in this draft, so that way you guys can help kind of figure out, this is kind of like the meat and potato area. The 4th through the 8th is where a lot of people love to be because you kind of have a, I would say, a little stronger overall team, right? For the, for running backs and receivers and tight ends and things like that. So I'm going to go over reasons why I picked certain players, reasons why you start to see some of these players fall. Maybe they're up a little bit higher, and we'll talk a little bit about some sleepers that I like while we're going through this draft. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified anytime we drop a new video for you. We'll be dropping our start and sit videos, of course, when the season starts. I've got some ranking videos right before the season starts. And then, of course, some must-have players that you really should be looking at if you have not drafted. Most players have already played their preseason games as far as starters go. That weekend's over with. So hopefully you're drafting this weekend or at least this week so that way you're prepared. And then these videos have been helping you guys out. If you do have any questions, make sure you hit us down in the comments below or follow us on our socials, Twitter or Instagram. You can always hit us in our DMs. That way we can answer any questions you have, whether it be the draft itself, maybe you've gotten some trade offers to you, dynasty questions, whatever it is, we'll be able to help answer so that way you guys are really prepared for this upcoming season. So we're going to jump right into this. Again, we're in the 4th spot, okay? This is kind of where a lot of people like to kind of be in, 4th through the 8th, maybe the 9th spot. This is really where everybody wants to be at. So we're going to get this started here. And again, I'm going to tell you why I went certain players. Now, I've been seeing in a lot of mock drafts, Dalvin Cook starting to go in the 1st. I am not surprised. I actually like Dalvin Cook a lot. I was really hoping I can kind of get him in this spot, but it's a little bit tougher right in the 4th spot. So you look at it, I'm going to absolutely go running back. You have to go running back in the 1st round. Until you probably get to maybe the 10th, 11th, 12th, might be a little different. Obviously, if you're in those picks, stay tuned to our next videos that are coming out. So for me, I'm going to absolutely go to Derrick Henry. I would have normally have gone to Barkley in this one, and Barkley for me, I'm just not quite ready to bet on him yet. He is somebody that you can definitely draft, but I wouldn't quite go at the 4th spot. So as you see, almost all receivers went in that 1st round. It's kind of interesting to see Najee Harris starting to drop into that 1st round too in some of these drafts. So now it's the 2nd swing. You're going to see a lot of receivers here. And you look at some options. I can go to another running back position. I could probably get one of these running backs here in the swing route. So I'm going to go actually receiver. And for me, DeAndre Hopkins, I'll absolutely take. Now I would have loved to have gotten a Ridley or something like that, but Hopkins in the 2nd round, I'll take that. Obviously the tight ends are gone here. That's almost always the case. So now we look at it, and I'm going to go and look at running backs and look at receivers and see what options. We got a Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin. Again, you can get some really solid receivers kind of later in the draft, so you don't necessarily quite draft here. Being that it's PPR does help. You look at the running back positions. You got Swift, Jacobs, Sanders, Carson, Montgomery. A little bit tougher, right? I'm not super high on Swift, at least not in the 3rd round. 4th round, I'd probably go for him, maybe late 3rd round. I'm not really heavily high on him, even though I think he's got some good potential. I'm just not 100% sold. Josh Jacobs has the potential of sharing a lot with, obviously, backup running backs like a Kenyon Drake, things like that. Miles Sanders is actually the one I'm going to go after. I know it's kind of surprising. You still have like a Boston Scott and things like that, but I like Miles Sanders a little bit more. He did really well when Jalen Hurts came in, and obviously I hope and expect that same type of energy and gameplay now that Jalen is the official quarterback, obviously, for the Eagles. So I like Miles Sanders. I'll take him. Look at some running backs here. Again, not 100% sold. I can look at tight end. You got a Mark Andrews available. Great option. TJ Hawkinson I like. And then you look at receivers. I'm actually going to end up going with CeeDee Lamb here. CeeDee Lamb, I think, is going to be a wide receiver 1. I think he'll surpass Cooper as far as this coming season with really, I think he could be the 1A, and I think Coop's going to be the 1B. But nothing wrong with going with Cooper. I see Cooper usually around the 3rd, like you see here, or 4th. Mark Andrews went. I was kind of hoping I could get him if he had swung around the 5th round. Sometimes it happens, and that would have been a really solid overall, but that's okay with him gone. I can kind of focus on the depth of my receivers and running backs, seeing what you've got here. For me, I'm actually going to end up going James Robinson. I'll take him as a backup and possible flex position just because there's obviously a really potential of, Etienne taking over the potential first string. Right now it's still James Robinson, so I'll take him as a backup I'm not going to quite, get rid of him yet. I'm still not sold on giving up on him as far as a talent for this upcoming season. Now, I've got 3 running backs, 2 receivers so far. I'm not going quarterback yet. I can still get a good quarterback later on. If I would say Prescott or Herbert was still available in the 6th round, I would have gone probably that route. But because they're already taken, I'm not going to go quarterback. I can, again, fill better depth. So here I'm going to end up going to T. Higgins as a good option for, as a good backup receiver. He's still a good option as far as giving you points this upcoming season. So I like that a lot. Now I'm pretty much filled out. Now you look at some of the options like tight ends. I love a Noah Fant. I love a Dallas Goedert. Even a Gesicki, Tunyon. I mean, there's some really good options here. So I'm going to fill this out and get a good tight end. And for me, that's going to be Noah Fant here. I almost would go Dallas Goedert, but I'm still not sure the whole dynamic with him and Jalen yet and kind of where that's going to vibe. But I do like Goddard a lot. For me, I like Fant a little bit better. I think Fant has a little bit more potential. And I think with the weapons on the outside for Denver, it's going to help open up the middle for Fant. There's not a lot of weapons for Eagles on the outside, so Goddard's going to be one of those main targets, which could be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. So I like going Fant a little bit more than Goddard. So I can and start looking at quarterbacks, right? So you got Tannehill, Burrow, Hurts, Mayfield, Fields, Watson. I actually, again, will go Tannehill. I've picked him a few different times in these drafts. I like Tannehill's potential. He's a good quarterback. He's very safe with the ball. He can still run. And the addition of Julio Jones is only up and improve that opportunity for him. So I like that a lot. Part of me almost wanted to go Damian Harris. I saw him and he was still available. He's one of my sleepers for this upcoming season, but I kind of wanted to see what was going to happen, but I didn't get him on the swing route. So one receiver I kind of want to mention before I move on, because I'm probably going to look at receiver, is look for, Callaway. You're seeing him really kind of growing in this preseason. If you haven't looked at him yet, Callaway for the Saints is a great option and a great sleeper. As you can see, he has not been picked yet. He's kind of near the bottom. He's somebody, again, we'll talk about in some of our other videos, but he's one that you want to keep an eye on because you're seeing Michael Thomas go. Keep an eye on Callaway a lot. So I'm not going to draft him yet because he's somebody I can get a little bit later, and I'm not worried about risking that. So for me, I'm actually going to go Corey Davis here. Corey Davis is another great receiver that, again, a lot of people are sleeping on. He has the potential to be a really knockout, I think, top 20 receiver this upcoming season. And that's with the addition of Zach Wilson there. And I think Zach Wilson's done an amazing job for the Jets so far. So I like that a lot. So I already have 4 receivers. I have 3, running backs, 1 tight end, 1 quarterback, right? So let's look at some of the running back options. You got Singletary, Hines, Gus Edwards, Tony Pollard, Philip Lindsay. Okay. You look at some of the tight ends, I could still get another good solid backup tight end, kind of steal them from, somebody else. As you can see, most of these mock drafts already have a tight end except for this team. So it's not necessarily a need, right? I don't need a backup tight end. I can get 1 more receiver and, look at these options. I actually like, and see if they have Callaway on here because Callaway has been dropping, but I'm going to go Marquez Callaway. Again, another sleeper who's going to be a stud for this upcoming season. So I'll take him all day. Now, running backs, I'll end up going to Gus Edwards. I think he has the potential to do really well for the Baltimore Ravens just because it's a run-heavy team. And the addition with him, obviously you got J.K. Dobbins. You still have Lamar Jackson. Gus Edwards could produce. Again, he could end up being a really premier running back for them and hopefully doesn't happen, but in case Dobbins obviously is hurt. So I've got my 4 running backs. I get 1 more running back. I've got all 5 of my receivers and then obviously backup. So for me, I'll go Philip Lindsay. Again, I still think he's going to end up being the one who's going to steal a lot of the limelight. For the Texans, I think he has a lot more potential than David Johnson. So for me, I'll go dip Philip Lindsay. Then I'm going to take a Deshaun Watson. I saw him still available. Deshaun Watson as a backup in the 13th round. It's a risk, but it's not a high risk. That's a low risk as taking him because I already have Tannehill. And if he does come back with everything going on in this offseason, hey, he might be a few matchups here and there that I'll enjoy and love. So Look at this. I'll take New England all day. As far as defense, they're obviously Bill Belichick's always produced a solid defensive team every single year. Take Patriots over the Broncos every day. My boy Zerline's gone, so for me, fortunately, I'm going to end up going to a different kicker. What I like as far as, again, kickers is who's going to score points, who's going to bring down the field. I like Robbie Gould. Robbie Gould a lot is going to have a team that runs the ball a lot, who's going to get down the field. You got to get those type of kickers. And he's also one of the more consistent kickers. So for me, I'll take that all day. So that draft is done. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you felt like that was a pretty good draft, you felt there could have been some things differently, let me know. Again, it's just something we're trying to help you guys out with, and it's never perfect. But these are some of the reasons why I draft some of these players. That's the whole point of why I do this, is to kind of give you some reasoning and thought process of what I'm going in some of these. And of course, players mentioning that maybe you're not really familiar with, but are going to be some standouts for you this possible season. If you are enjoying this video and you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out with the algorithm on YouTube. Again, if you are unsubscribed or not subscribed, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that way you guys get any of the new videos. Follow us on our socials and ask any questions that we can answer you with this season. And you know what? I'll check you guys out next time.